You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for A-List New York. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest A-List news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for A-List New York!
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the A-List New York. We are on episode 8. What's so funny? I haven't even started a sentence yet.
Before Kenny started, though, he just said this episode sucked, and then he goes on to say it's exciting.
Well,
good
you know,
evening,
this is
everyone.
my job as the host. So, and I'm teabagging right now because I have a little bit of a cold.
We actually have an acquaintance who does that laugh, and that's his normal, natural laugh.
Not
And he
okay.
could be one of the 50 people that are watching. Hello, 50 people. I was told we had 50 people
Good
waiting on us.
I know.
Less.
We're really glad that you left the Glee premiere to
come and watch
watch
us. That is awesome. So, welcome. Hello. This episode was entitled Lies, Hypocrisy, and Marriage Equality. I'm your host, Kenny Harrison. Joining me tonight, next to me is...
David Schifilliti.
And the beautiful and blonde...
Cameron. No. Jacque Borowski.
That was Jacque Borowski. And the bald and beautiful...
Cameron Marston.
Say that again?
Cameron Marston.
Thank you. And the voice of God, Mr...
DJ Jesse Janedy.
Awesome. All right, kids.
Oh, Kenny, you haven't teabagged in a long time.
I know.
I mean, I wish you had curlers in your hair, a robe,
That could be
face
arranged.
mask.
Good evening, everyone.
That could be arranged. All right. Enough teabagging jokes. Because I'm sure we've all been teabagged before.
Welcome to the cellar.
Never.
So we are just about wrapping up
my eye.
this season. Really? Really?
Kenny is so appropriate.
You know what? I have my tea tonight. I don't have my juice, so this show is gonna be a little different.
So, I've been able to do Real Housewives of New Jersey, and they allowed me to sit in on Bad Girls Club. Can I have to say, I actually have the most fun with you as the host because we kind of don't have any organization, and we just rip and shit talk each other.
Well,
it's fun.
I really appreciate that.
I enjoy the other ones. No, I enjoy the other ones because it's articulate and we kind of get in deep. But
You have no one to beat up.
At some point, I go, it's reality television. It's not that serious.
Well, I do recall at the beginning of this whole journey from episode 1, I tried to break it down as if this was like a Breaking Bad or Glee. And then I was told off camera that it's reality TV. Why are you taking it so seriously? So,
Especially this show, though.
yeah, this is kind of a waste of. Okay, I take that back. It's guilty pleasure.
Yes.
But I just think that enough with Derek and Austin and let's make up, let's break up, and the whole. I don't even know. There's no format to the show. You know what I mean?
There's no substance.
Yeah, it's a bunch of queens that are just.
I mean, okay, take Mike Ruiz out
I
of
wouldn't
it.
say there's no substance.
He's a part of that as well.
I would say, though, that, it's weird because they're trying to do in sort of like an entertainment fashion, they're trying to bring about the gay agenda, whatever that is. Call attention to it. Call attention to it, whether it's negative or not. That's a side point. But they do call attention to certain issues that are like mainstream gay issues.
I agree, but my problem is them calling the attention to the wrong issues. They expound upon it. Is that a word?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. We get 45 minutes in an episode. About 35 of it is about nonsense, and then the issues that are prevalent, like equality, marriage equality, and everything else is like 10 minutes of it. You know, it's just, you know, let's find a balance. And I know it's for ratings and no one really watches it if it was like all good and, you know, everyone got along, blah, blah, blah. But let's be real.
Well, maybe we're disenchanted because this is not that this is a job, but we come here, we're kind of obligated to this, and we take it a little bit more seriously.
We have a responsibility.
Okay, maybe.
Or perhaps, you know, this isn't stuff that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? With the Real Housewives out there in our personal lives and things like that. I mean, none of this is new to us.
Right. I mean, I personally, I like it when they bring the heavier weighted issues in. Like, I like to see the scene with Mike and his boyfriend really talking over his boyfriend not getting custody of the children.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Things that are real issues that I feel that more people can relate to versus, you know, those are real couple issues versus issues that are just like, oh, you're bisexual and I'm mad about it for like 45 minutes.
Or like in this episode, they had the opportunity to talk about marriage equality and focus on the gay marriage right becoming legal in New York and all that stuff. And they sort of brushed upon it, but it was never really discussed.
It was discussed to a certain extent I was going to say to a certain extent to the point where you're using two of the who want to be poster children for this equality, Jake and Austin, which they really don't have, you know, any right to say, look at us, we're a happy couple, blah blah blah. When it's kind of revealed in this episode that they cheat on each other, right before they got married.
Okay, devil's advocate.
Oh, here we go.
Cheating happens in homosexual and heterosexual relationships.
Very true.
It just happens to be made public now. So, you know, I know wives that get beaten all the time.
I think
they stay happily married, supposedly.
Apparently, Austin gets beaten all the time, too, with all the...
And he a big boy. Maybe he likes it. How do we know? We don't know.
And I think the part of that whole, like, revelation of the cheating or whatever, everyone in the audience would just assume that Austin would cheat, which he did. But then to see the other side of it where Ryan's saying, oh, Austin was coming in and was, like, crying because when he found out Jake cheated on him. That's a whole other side. So we see why Austin's kind of defensive in the relationship because he took it really
So here's my question, because we've seen Austin flirt a lot. Is flirting a bad sign in a marriage or a relationship? Because obviously,
I disagree.
I don't think so.
Okay, we got something that I know. We have,
Right,
here we
Jesse's in
go.
the booth. He's like,
Now we have something interesting to talk about.
I can go either way. So go ahead, Jesse.
Well, it just kind of shows your character. I mean, in the sense of, I understand if you're in a relationship with somebody for a long period of time and that's your way of an outlet. But I've seen too many marriages that do work, too many long relationships that do work where the two are best friends and there's just no need for that. And people take it as flirting to a point, but knowing them, I know that that's not what they're doing. They're not flirting. People just like their personality. I think when you're taking it to the point and being playful, I think that that's allowing yourself to go someplace else that you shouldn't be going with another person if you're serious about the relationship that you're in. The way Austin takes it, I think that's totally wrong. I don't think he's taking his relationship serious.
Okay, so David, you're on the opposite side of that, right?
I am. I think that a little harmless flirting doesn't really hurt anybody at the end of the day. You're just talking with someone, and some people just happen to have a little bit more of a flirty personality when they're meeting new people or when they're out with friends. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're cheating on you.
Wait, but what's the difference? No, I'm saying I understand a flirty personality.
Right.
It's more of a bubbly personality, but there's a
No,
difference
I
between
mean
that
like
and
flirting, like upright flirting.
Oh,
Well,
I agree
But
with
some
David, though.
people just
Yeah.
flirt naturally. They don't mean to. They just do it.
I'll pop you.
Well, my thing is, well, here's my and let's use this
why
Austin
we don't
thing.
go together.
This is this Austin situation where he's on a double date with Reichen and this other guy.
that was crossing a boundary.
Exactly.
That's not,
How
that's
do
not
you-
flirting. He was straight up
He was
hitting on him.
basically hitting on him.
Yeah.
You know, he's
So
saying,
then
well,
you-
let's go
we
on
have
a
to
date.
decide. What are we deciding? What are
But I
we
think
saying
this
flirting is?
Yeah, but I think it's not like a black and white scenario.
there's
It's
definitely a gray
there's certain relationships where both partners in the couple are very flirtatious, and I think that for that relationship that might work. It might not work for another relationship. And I think especially in this instance where Austin goes so far already knowing that there's been infidelity on both sides, that's where the problem comes in. It's like there are certain people that don't mind flirting because they trust their partner that much and they know their partner wouldn't do anything. And again, it all depends on personalities. It all depends on the dynamics of the relationship. I don't think it's an overall you can say that it's harmful or not.
Okay. Do you have anything to add, Cameron?
Personal opinion, I'm okay with people talking to other people, but flirting, that whole, because you can tell by somebody's body language, you can tell by the context that they're using in their discussion, you can tell by the way they look at each other in their eyes. I don't think I'm for flirting. I'm not really for flirting. You can look, don't touch.
But
Yeah,
I
but
mean, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, David.
I was just going to say flirting isn't touching.
Yeah.
Can be.
It can be. And that's the thing. That's where the gray line comes in.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's sometimes relationships, especially if they've gone on for longer, they might thrive on that, like, oh, that person's getting attention, but then, like, you know who you go home with at the end of the night. It all depends.
It can turn into button pushing. Okay, I know he might not be feeling that good about himself at this period in the year or seasonally, whatever. His insecurities are kind of flaring up. So I'm going to talk to somebody on purpose, but that's a symptom of a bigger issue probably in their relationship. I'm just saying, for me, flirting interaction is I'm not down with it. You can look, don't touch.
So in the context of Jake and Austin's relationship, we do agree that it's not a healthy relationship. It's kind of a bogus marriage, if you ask me.
I don't think it's unhealthy. I think it's young relationship. They're young.
Yeah,
They're
it's young. I don't think it's bogus. I think that they care about each other, but they're young.
I mean, I've seen younger couples get along that act as though they're a mature couple, I mean, it can work,
In public.
But I mean, really? Like,
no, I definitely believe it can work. Absolutely. Yeah. But with the difference between them is, I don't know. See, I'm even gonna say the fact. Do we know what are the facts that we know Jake cheated? Part of me, knowing the type of person Austin is, a part of me would say maybe Austin created it, or not created it, but
use it as an excuse for his cheating.
The timing of it happening, yes, he used it for his cheating.
Right. And I kind of feel it's the way it's come about, especially in this episode. You start off with Reichen and Rodney telling Reichen that they both cheat on each other, and then later on, Ryan confirms of what he was going through with Austin, crying about it and blah blah blah. It's just like, as a viewer, I kind of don't really know. And this,
who to believe.
Yeah, and this goes back to the whole text message thing between Derek and that guy, the director guy. Yeah, and it's just I honestly don't know what to believe when I'm reading. Like, it's not like I care. I mean, I am a viewer. I enjoy the show, and I'm only taking it for entertainment. But for the purpose of AfterBuzz TV, to break it down, these are issues that, as gay men and women, or actually I shouldn't say gay, as a human being, we have to deal with these issues of infidelity, what's right and what's wrong, where's the the line that is being crossed, and so forth. So
I mean, Jake is just so, why is his face blurred out in the picture and he's on that
because he's the foreign one.
Yeah. Because they don't want him to get deported.
Yeah, they explain in the episode that the person who would be, because you can't fucking find the partner through the deported person. Like, what?
I mean, we see Jake and he's so.
Jake is very likable.
No, but I'm saying he's very, anything that Austin does, he thinks he's nervous. He's just always on end with Austin, thinking Austin's doing something. Usually that type of person, I just think that Austin's done so much and he just has no trust for Austin.
Well, either Austin has done so much or he has done so much, which is why he's so untrustworthy of his partner.
I mean, I see that, like, a lot of people who are untrustworthy people who go out and cheat on people then will turn around and be so reactionary because that's how they are. And they know.
You tend to project your own insecurities and behavior upon the other person and use it as an excuse. You kind of sabotage your own relationship.
And so now you have these two people who really don't trust each other. So I mean,
so we see.
Yeah. But however, I just wanted to say that before Jake even came into the picture, you know, there was this whole last season about Reichen and Austin sleeping with each other and blah, blah, blah. Come to find out that he's married, you know, and it's just kind of like, I don't know if that was planned. I'm sure it was, but it's kind of like a whole trust thing. And now we have Jake that's kind of prevalent in these episodes now. And I actually kind of like him, you know, as a person. Up until this point, this episode where, you know, it comes to find out that he cheated on Austin and
I think it was a ploy. I think it was a ploy to get a work visa.
Well, yeah. What
because looking at Jake in the beginning, he was like, "Oh my God, why am I doing that?"
Pain,
maybe
pain.
Right in the kitchen,
maybe,
in the kitchen,
yeah.
scene, he was like, "Oh my God, why am I doing that?"
But I think as time goes on, I think he realized, oh, well, this is kind of my 15 minutes of fame. I'm sure people like recognizes him on the street and like Rodney, it's kind of working to his advantage. So, you know, well, whatever.
Well, I would like to say this about the way that this episode portrays relationships. First, let me propose this question, though. Would you say that for the gay community, there is a stereotype that gay men aren't faithful in their relationship?
I will say this, and I think, yes, the answer is yes. However, men in general aren't the most.
Right. No, that's what I mean.
When you separate men and women, period, men, gay or straight, are typically known or stereotypically the cheaters.
Thought to be predisposed to stray.
Right, which is why I feel that people when they look at a relationship that's two men, that's how they feel
and
about it.
I think that gay men have taken that and used that as an excuse.
Right, and then I will say this about this episode though. I like that the people that are cheating on each other in this episode are portrayed as villainous. It's saying, hey, you can't this is a relationship. It's you know, not defining it as gay, not defining it as straight. This is a relationship and you're cheating on the partner in the relationship. And I appreciated that about it because I like that it sort of busts through the stereotype that just lets men off as cheating or sees men as sort of cheaters, and then it's like, oh, well, that's kind of accepted or it is what it is. Instead, everybody's shocked, everybody's upset, which is something I completely appreciated about this episode.
Well, and it's kind of unfair to the whole as a group because you do see, I mean, obviously Ryan and his husband have been together for years.
Right.
And it seems like Mike and Martin are a loving, healthy relationship.
On their way.
You know, and it's just that one kind of bad apple in the bunch that it's in the forefront of, you know, and I'm sure not even 1 million people are watching this show, but those that actually happen to catch this show who may not be gay will probably use this as, oh, you know, look at all the gay men. They're all cheaters. You know what I mean? So.
Right. But behind that, like, I think part of it too is like you have this juxtaposition of relationships with you know, Mike and his partner, and then Ryan and his partner being more faithful, stable types, and they're kind of sandwiching them against these others.
But you never see those partnerships as much
as
you
they
do.
Because they want to stay away from the television.
Well,
but it's like what TJ said. It's
They're
like what TJ said when he called. He's
That's
like, I don't
true.
want to ruin my relationship by
That's
having my
true.
boyfriend on TV.
They have life experience. They're older. Like, I've been here. I've done it. You know, you guys do what you're going to do. Austin's 25.
Right.
25. I have a question.
Hopefully
we're not really on point. We're not keeping on some kind of track. Anyway.
I think that for me, this is actually more interesting.
Well, let's do it then. Okay.
Than this
And
episode.
it goes with the flow of the show.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
Okay.
this is pretty much our special topic. So
Let me ask my question then, damn
well,
it.
answer your freaking question.
So, I've always kind of had this conflict internally with some of my gay friends. I see. Let me go backwards. I would choose most times to not become close to some of my friends. And I value my friends. I have very few close friends and I have acquaintances. So if my close friends, I'm very careful about getting too close to their significant others or what they try and term as significant others, their boyfriends, because I never know where it's going to go. I also, on that same topic, I do it also because I do have some friends and I love them, but we all have certain bad behaviors, and I'm not the type to sign off on that infidelity type character. You know, if I love my friends, I'm the very one. I'll call you out on it. I don't think that's right. That's not my thing. And please don't put me in a space with your lover and expect me to, like, you know, cover it up. That's just not my style. So I guess my question comes down: if you had a close friend and you're friends with his partner, would you call your friend out? Would you put him on blast? Not in public, but would you bring it up and say, you know, I don't think it's right that you do it? Because, you know, there's some people that say there's boy code. Fuck boy code. That's not my thing. I mean, don't make me somebody's friend and then kind of put me in the middle or put me in a situation where it's
basically you're
uncomfortable.
saying if your close friend is the cheater and you're friends with the boyfriend, is it okay for you to go to your friend and
Would you?
call him-
Well, my question is, would you hold your friend accountable? Would you
if
say
he
that-
cheated? Yes, I would let him know. You know, it's not right. If I found out, I think it's okay for me to say, and this goes to like kind of what this episode is kind of about. You know, them being in the same space with the both cheaters, basically. If David was my best friend and he went and cheated on his partner, and I'm close with the partner as well, I will let David know that I would give my opinion. I wouldn't be judgmental. I would just say, hey, look, I don't agree with this and this and this, and I cannot be in this situation with the two of you and smile in your face and pretend that everything's okay, because it's not okay. It's wrong. Now, what he does with that information from what I just said, that's up to him. Whether he wants to own up to it or, you know, maybe the partner doesn't know. Maybe it's up to him to, you know. But I feel like as a friend on the outside, I think it would be my position to say something as a good friend. And if we're on that same level of friendship,
right.
he would not take it as a hit or a personal attack. Exactly. So
And
that's
I bring it up only because this case scenario, they say that both of them cheated. But what if it was
just one-sided.
Yeah, just one-sided. You know, what would the group, instead of just kikiing about it, would they actually have some serious commentary?
I think
confrontation.
out of anybody, Ryan would be the one person. And let's just say that Austin was the one being cheated on, or I'm sorry, doing the cheating. I think Ryan would probably be the only one to step up, because Reichen kept talking the talk, but he never walked the walk. He never came up and said anything. I think Ryan would be the one to step up and say, hey, look, this is what you're doing. And he also looks at the whole younger, older, you know, brother relationship. I think everyone else would just talk behind their back and allow it. I don't think that Rodney is that close enough to Austin to even care or lift a finger.
I think Derek would, depending on how his manic mood swings. So manic.
Sidebar.
I'm going to punch you, Austin.
I think Derek.
I'm gonna punch you, but I'm gonna hug you too.
I think Derek should have a cold more often. He had a cold in his on this episode, and
in his little private.
Yeah, and he dropped his
he
voice.
dropped
like,
his voice an octave.
He actually sounded like a man.
Well, you know, they say when females have their period, they do drop an octave. So,
is that true, Jackie?
I don't know.
Well, we shall see.
Sorry to get on that tangent, but I just thought about.
No, that's a good
That's
question.
such an interesting topic to bring up. I mean,
Yeah.
personally, in my life right now, I've been dealing with something exactly like what was going on in this episode today, and what you just brought up for the past like year, and it's exhausting. And I was put in that exact position, where one of my good friends was dating someone who I became friends with and friendly with, and who I now consider a good friend. And one of them cheated on the other one, and the other one also strayed a little bit, and I was forced to choose sides. And I told them both, I'm not going to choose sides. This is just how I am. You guys don't have to be together. I can hang out with you separately. But then, you know, I was sort of excommunicated from both sides.
Well, here's my question
And
now.
I'm left alone.
You were good friends with one of them first.
Correct.
Okay, so do you feel as though you have an obligation to that one particular person
No.
over the other?
Not at all.
Interesting.
I mean, if someone's going to be in a long-term relationship and a long-distance relationship, and I happen to be in both places, there's no reason for me to choose a side. I don't feel like I should have to choose sides. If you put me in the position where I'm hanging out with you on a daily basis and your boyfriend, girlfriend, what have you, is there with us for the past 4 years, like there's, you know.
Well, I'm just saying, if the boyfriend is hot, I'm choosing the boyfriend over the friend. Because there's a chance.
Retard.
You never know. Is that wrong?
There's
though?
no
Is that
chance.
wrong?
Just keep sipping your tea.
Yeah, Kenny. Just
There's also.
hush.
I also want to talk about another topic that had to do with this episode, and that's
The
right.
tranny profile pic.
No.
The LGBTQ. Did
No,
you hear Mike say that?
Yeah.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, what is that?
When
What
did
is the Q?
Isn't it
Queer.
queer?
But when did that get added in?
Yeah.
Oh, I
As
thought
if
it was
the
a couple
other
years.
things aren't
I think it's
all
been a couple
Queer.
years now.
Queer.
They're all queer.
It's been a couple years now.
Oh, I missed that memo. I didn't get. Well,
What is it?
I've never seen Wicked, so.
You can be lesbian, gay, bisexual, and apparently separately queer.
Queer.
From all that.
Transgender. Don't forget transgender.
I'm not
Oh,
gay.
so-
I'm just queer.
Yeah, you're straight, but you're queer. I like that actually.
Speaking of
Oh,
transgender,
good. I can be
Oh,
queer.
there you go.
top model.
ISIS.
Is she back?
Isis
Yeah,
is
She
back.
won the
Aw.
first week.
Go
Ridiculous.
for her.
Anyway.
She's got her vag now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Post.
Yes, she is now post.
Well, now she can do Dancing with the Stars and dance with a guy. So,
Or can
oh,
she?
so I wanted to talk about. I thought it was a cute little segment when Reichen and his mom.
Oh
I-
my
I
God,
thought it
his
was cute.
poor mother.
I know.
I mean, first of all, he brings his mother up because he's celebrating his half birthday.
By the way.
Okay.
No.
No.
By the way.
Mitch,
does that?
please.
No, I have a quarterly birthday, and my third quarter birthday is October 3rd. You're all welcome. AfterBuzz TV out there land. Come to LA, and you're welcome
Why
to
do you
come.
have this?
Because
quarterly birthday.
My birthday is January 11th, and I decided to do it quarterly. People do half. I do quarterly.
You hurt
Good for
Cameron. You broke him.
We're 2 days apart.
Oh, rock on. So when is your birthday? The 13th?
Oh, this just made it
I'm
worse.
the 9th.
Oh my God.
You have the same birthday. Okay,
Do you
so
wanna,
we can do
you wanna
quarterly.
see? Okay, so he laughed at Cameron.
Why?
Cameron laughed at my note when he came in because the first thing on my sheet says Reichen half birthday, WTF ? Question mark! Exclamation point.
Well, it's explained that his birthday falls on Christmas.
No, I get
It's
it,
only
but it's
smart.
just like it's like Reichen masturbating all over himself and wanting everybody to come and enjoy it.
And they have.
And his mom.
they have.
And he told his mom that he was beating off.
Would
on
you
the
ever
internet.
tell your
No, that
mom?
is on national television. That is embarrassing to your family.
Well,
your
and
mom.
why
And
couldn't-
they're in that stupid park they always go to.
Why
On
couldn't
the
he
same
say
day.
it in like a nicer way?
Wait, Jesse. But let him be endowed like 10, 11 inches. Dad would be proud. He'd be clacking beers with his friends. My son's on the internet.
Over your gay son whacking off with somebody
Dads,
else?
I'm sorry.
Really?
Dads don't care. If
I
they're
used to
endowed
two
or they're
balls.
banging 15 girls, they're proud. They're, shaking hands.
Oh, wow.
they're
I
proud
just don't
about
think
it.
that's a conversation that should happen in the park where they have all of their public
It's the park.
conversations.
It's a special event.
Apparently.
I think you can have the conversation in public. I think the words that he chose to explain to her mom I was beating off on the internet.
Yeah.
I think he could have been a little bit more eloquent.
I just loved her
in the
face.
way that he explained
Poor
himself.
mother. She had to pause, recollect all her shit that fell on the floor, and then come back at it.
And then she says, "And that's all you were doing."
I
But then he
you're
goes
not
on
gonna
to
do
joke
this
about it.
anymore.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do this.
He goes on to
anymore.
joke about it, how he's like, "Yeah, we'll destroy the film afterwards."
oh my, yeah.
Like-
And she's like, what?
Your mom is probably in her 70s. Give her a break.
No.
She's scarred for life.
That is embarrassing.
And then
What?
she
Okay,
goes on.
wait.
The other thing that bugged me is he's like 35 years old, and his mom.
He's
has-
38, by the way.
Whatever. He's old, and his mom.
Not that 38 is
sorry,
old
Not that 38 is old
at all.
At all.
I'm 37.
But his mom.
You don't look a
his
day
mom
over 40.
His mom goes. Now I hope you learned something from this. I was like, what? He is way too old to be told that he needs to learn a lesson. He should have learned the lesson when he was like 25 and not done this.
Well, back in when he was 25, they didn't have beating off over the internet. But my question is, which is more embarrassing?
Yes, they did.
Having to tell your mom you got caught online beating off, or actually having her walk in on you beating off?
Walk in would be worse.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think having to tell your mother that
Got
there's a
caught
video
online.
of you on the internet right now that any of her friends could stumble upon if they Google you, or any of your family members
with
could
you.
stumble upon.
Walking in. No.
I could handle anybody in the world
no.
looking at that, but my own parents, it would be like,
Because
ooh.
you don't stumble on it at auto plays. You gotta press play.
No, wait, but this isn't a
That's
video.
true.
Wait, it wasn't a video. It was a picture.
It was
just
pictures.
Yeah, it was just pictures.
So,
But I think there was a
I mean,
video connected to
if
it.
mom auto, if she pressed play, then there's a
well,
whole.
no, wait,
Yeah, there's
no,
a
no,
whole nother
'cause
issue.
If you watch the Real World Las Vegas this season, one of the
That still exists.
yes, one of the guys from the season,
He's a porn star.
he came to find out he was doing gay porn.
Yeah.
And he's straight.
And
the
he's
girl-
straight.
The girl he was talking to on the show, her mother found out.
Oh, lordy.
Obviously, she was like, "Who is this guy my daughter's talking to?" She
Google.
researched.
So I watched some of his movies.
What's his
and
number?
She basically outed him on national television. So it's
Wow.
not like
What's
the
his name,
mother
Mike?
can't find-
Or something?
Dustin.
Darcel.
Yeah, but he did this huge article in Us Weekly right before the show came out, and he was, I mean, whatever, but he came from a poor family. He had no means to support himself, and he was given this opportunity to move out to LA and make a significant amount of money
In
to
a
support
short time.
himself in a short amount of time. And then he never knew that he was going to get the real world. What are you doing
is
over
that?
there?
I have
Is that the cat's
I have an
crying?
acquaintance
I
who
hear you.
owns his own adult media company.
Vivid.
No, and I can't name it because that's
Jamstar?
But he has
Bottoms
stated there are many in his entourage that are married with children and families, and they do it because gay porn pays top dollar.
Yes. One of my favorite porn actors started off doing gay porn. And it's
Who?
Straight porn actors.
straight porn actors, sorry. Straight porn actors start off doing gay porn.
Oh.
I know who you're
Because
talking
Kenny
about.
enjoys
He
straight
was in
porn
the
actors.
bigger the better from Falcon. I know who you're talking about. What's the name?
No, he's
What's the
an
name?
older guy.
What's the name?
His name is Peter North.
Peter North.
Oh.
He got jacked on the school table. I saw it.
Yeah.
Bigger
well,
the better.
He also
Brother was 10 inches dropped. Just saying. I saw it.
So yeah, and he was a bottom in this when he first
Where is
started.
this show going?
Oh, we're talking. This
This is
all
turning
relates
into RuPaul's
to,
Drag Race.
Yeah. No, but I'm
It's
just
all
saying.
related.
Let's be honest. Straight men in gay porn get $4 or $5 grand a pop.
Oh,
a
bang.
show.
Let's talk about Abby. Abby, all the bartenders straight.
Yeah. Well, majority.
No, the
Majority.
majority of people, like
Yeah.
the majority of bartenders in
Right.
West Hollywood are straight.
Right.
Well, but it's done purposely.
And what's
not
that
at
wo-
Fiesta,
And there's a lot.
Those.
not at Gym Bar,
No.
but it's done purposely. It's very diabolical.
Yeah. It's taboo, and MTV had a whole like True Life on. I'm a gay porn star, and they had straight men, with girlfriends, and they had to come clean to their families.
Chicks
and-
with dicks.
God.
Can we edit that out, please? Where the hell are we? We were talking. Oh, I
Get
also
back
want
to
to
ship.
remember when they were in the party and what's her face had that hat on her head. Okay,
Yes.
you remember the South Park episode where the bus driver always had had a bird on top of her head? That's what I thought it was. I was like, what the?
Nyasha?
Nyasha, whatever her name is.
It
There
looks
was
like it reminds
one-
me of a Helena Bonham Carter like hat. It's something she would totally
Like she
wear.
was going to the British royal wedding or some shit.
There was one
with Tim Burton.
scene in this episode where her hair looked
Real.
better than it ever has before. When
But
she
then
had
it's
the
always-
ponytail, I was like, what?
Because it looked real. That's the
Right.
comment I made.
So
when
how
I
does
was
she look like?
watching
That
with
must be real.
Cameron.
That's real hair.
That must be
know, it's
real hair.
freaking the
Well, the
fuck out.
ponytail was definitely a piece.
I actually
I
want to see
know.
what her hair looks like without the wig.
She
and-
probably
Because I
doesn't
don't-
have any hair left.
But I don't think she's totally bald
Yeah,
because
she has
that
to be bald.
no, I don't think she's totally bald because that piece with the hair piece, like her ponytail,
Mhm.
it looked like real hair here, and then like
The ponytail
something
was fake,
attached. Yeah. And so I was all freaking out. I'm like, it looks good. It looks real.
My
Her hair
favorite-
looks real.
My
For
favorite
once.
favorite part was Rodney looking at Reichen and they both do this.
I saw that. That was great.
I missed that.
It was right at the
I
end
probably fell asleep.
when
on that.
Ryan says that
God.
they were cheating and
Oh,
Yes.
okay, I remember.
Rod and
Yeah.
Rodney's
Reichen are like,
See?
see, I told
It's
you.
like
was
a Will and
girl."
Grace episode.
He was like in so many words. I did say it.
I need to Google that music video because just to see what Rodney looks like in
What
it.
was
and
it called?
I don't know.
Superstar.
It cracked me up too that Rodney goes, "It's so exciting to see yourself on television for 2 minutes." It's like, bitch, you were on TV like
Every episode.
for the past like 14 episodes.
You've been
of
fucking our
this.
minds for the last 8 episodes. I totally agree with you. I actually think he really is.
You shouldn't talk. You know how many words you've botched?
What,
I
today?
went back and listened to some of our podcasts. You botch words left.
I
and
don't
right.
care. I'm the star of this show. Screw it.
Oh my.
People tune in to watch.
Guys are on the Kenny Harrison show.
He drives a Fiat.
Actually, I ride a bike everywhere. I'm hot.
He gets
Oh.
out the Fiat and dances
Do
like
it-
J-Lo on
To Poppy.
drinking.
Do we want
Crown
to
Royal.
Do we want to revisit while I'm sober the whole bisexual thing? when
Oh.
Rodney.
Oh yeah, well, we had a conversation. And we were talking
When I'm
about,
sober.
and I said that was one of the hardest things for me to accept coming out,
Never sober.
having been, under the umbrella, the gay spectrum. I considered myself bisexual in the beginning because I was in a relationship and I actually did enjoy sex with women, but I was telling her that the people that had the most problem with bisexuality were gay men.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the straight people. They didn't really care. Like, well, you're not on our team anymore. So, but it was the gay people. Like, oh, that's unfair. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Whatever.
And I was saying that's also how the whole I mean, that's my perception too, is that like you go to the gay community, you say you're bisexual, and it's all of a sudden everybody's up in arms. And that's how it is in this episode. It's like Reichen gets pissed off, not because Rodney brought somebody over, it's because Rodney brought a girl, and he was under the impression that Rodney was bringing a guy.
Yeah. But it's kind of, I mean, if you're dating someone, now I'm not saying that Reichen is a top or whatever.
Prepare yourself for this.
I'm just saying, if you're dating someone and you're shagging someone like night after night, and then that person turns around and is dating a girl, wouldn't that isn't that
Not if
kind
he's
of
laying
awkward?
pipe. He doesn't
No,
care
I
what
said
orifice
if
is going in.
you're shagging that person and all of a sudden he's now dating a girl, wouldn't you have
Let's just get it straight. Reichen was not shagging anybody.
And I just said I prefaced it with saying let's not think about him being a top.
Well, wait,
Let
no.
me preface this.
Yeah.
Well, you preface it, girlfriend.
No, but
Go
let's
for it.
look at the fact that how would you care? How would you like it if after you're in a relation shagging somebody and then a month later he's dating like 2 to 3 other guys? What's the difference?
Well, I know he's getting shagged by a guy. It's not.
So, and Reichen also admitted that he knew Rodney was attracted to females in the relationship.
You know what?
Which I don't know if I believe that, but
Yeah, that was the part I don't believe, because it's like you get all freaked out and up in arms over the fact that he's got a woman with you, and then, but like a soundbite earlier or later, you're like, oh, but I knew he was looking at me. No, you did not realize he was looking at women as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't have freaked out about this, which is exactly like.
I check out women, but not in a. I do. I am a total.
Girl, your shoes are cute.
I was just gonna say, to see what they're wearing, check their shoes out,
I like breasts, just like the next straight man.
throw some shade.
And if they have a penis,
what?
thumbs up. No, I have no idea what I was gonna say. I just got thrown.
Wait, why is Nyasha wearing Rihanna's old wig?
Because she's a man.
She borrowed it.
Nyasha's a mess, and I
Nyasha's
actually,
a
you know
hot
what, this
mess.
guy,
That guy has David Boreanaz's hair circa 1999.
No.
Let's
This
talk
guy
about that.
actually-
Love it.
this guy
is so
actually totally
weird.
looks familiar, and I
Does
don't.
he?
It's his hair.
It's his hair.
He's-
David Boreanaz, circa 1999.
He's gay. I'm just gonna
You
call
think?
it like a yeah.
Maybe he's bisexual.
No, and this is my problem. And
Maybe
it's like,
Nash is gonna
maybe
freak
he's
out
not.
when he
He
goes
works-
home as a boy.
he works
and
Fashion
this is
Week.
kind of my problem too with her, is that knowing that Rodney, because she goes after him in the past, we've seen her chase after Rodney, like knowing that he is gay. Well, he's bisexual.
Because Reichen told her he can lay pipe.
Is that?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm the only person that has a problem with that. A girl
You
dating a
also
guy
have-
who is bisexual. I have
Who
a
hurt
problem
you,
with that.
Kenny? Who hurt you?
I feel
Well,
like
when
the
I was
woman-
7 years old,
I feel like the woman would probably have more issues with her boyfriend, even if he was a top, having just come out of
a relationship with
a
a
gay
guy.
relationship.
Well, add on that it was Reichen. You dated
Right.
that.
Wow.
Oh, did you guys like the scene where Nyasha was getting help from everyone setting up?
I fell asleep.
The
Setting
profile
up her
pic, that
profile.
was my favorite
I liked
profile
it.
pic.
That's hilarious.
Wasn't that also?
She's like, I need to
scrapbooking.
date somebody who's above me.
No, but
Yeah, bitch.
On top of
seriously.
that,
You're going on
it's like-
Match.com. You're not
Oh,
going to find
right.
someone above you.
exactly.
Right.
And my thing is, and what bugs me, and this is what they do all day long, is they Google themselves. She's like, oh, well, people can Google me and know that I have a record out and I'm on TV and blah, blah, blah. Bitch, nobody knows who you are.
Especially during film,
seriously?
especially during, because we're talking about this is
During
now we're
filming.
watching it after. During filming,
How very
not a
evident.
motherfucker
Exactly.
knew who you
And
were.
But
What
she was
guy?
Miss Universe, right? or Miss Africa. What was she?
Miss Universal
She was the
Africa.
ambassador.
She was Miss Black Hole. That's what she was. My thing.
She won a beauty contest.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only. Do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or
I don't
principals.
care. No. My thing is, no one knows who she is.
That's true.
No one knows who she is.
True.
And what straight guy? I'm gonna ask all my straight guy friends to Google her and be like, "Would you go on a date with her?" They probably would say no.
Yeah.
They probably would say no. She's
Yeah.
like, well, she kind of looks like a man, so no, I'm not going out with that.
Especially with
Is
them
her hair
busted
real?
wigs.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
she just wants some dick, so I'm sure someone would dick her down.
I'm sure she could pay for it.
Yeah, but
How
not
hard would
someone.
it be
but-
to do that? I can go on Craigslist and do that. Oh,
Yeah.
Then she's on the wrong side.
Mom, I don't really do that. Okay. If you're watching.
But it's like you're
But
not
I'm
gonna
saying-
find. But yeah, you're not gonna go on the internet and find some like some quality guy who's better than you or whatever.
You
You are
might,
a
but you
mess.
probably are not going to find the type of guy that she is looking for,
Right.
apparently, because she's looking for like the wealthiest man in New York City to come sweep
And
her
you know
off her
what?
feet.
She's getting this, and she's doing the same thing that Derek and all those other guys are doing. They want to get somebody who's rich and
Yeah.
who wants to
Right.
take care of them. Just
She's
in case shit-
25.
But she claims that she's all in, I'm independent, all the women, all that, that's just bull,
Can I say my favorite part of that scene though is when Derek, she asks what country she puts on the list, and
where
Derek,
she's from
yeah,
or what she's where
exactly.
she's living.
And then Derek goes, "No, you don't want to get people from Zimbabwe," and they all start throwing out these countries because they have no fucking clue where she's from.
And Derek takes it further and starts making like different sounds
Yeah, like-
to imitate.
TJ did the same thing
Yeah,
too. I thought that was offensive.
And she
As
doesn't
did
say
I.
anything.
Yeah, I thought she would have
That's
came
why-
back and
But
ripped
she
on
just
that.
said black hole.
Right.
That's the part. The part.
I didn't mean that in
Oh,
a
it's
racist.
okay for you.
Yeah, because I'm black. I
The
can say
part-
whatever I want.
the part
Just
that I
like I
found
can
was
say
funny-
you faggot. I can say that because
I like the
care.
word faggot.
The part that I found was funny though
Homo.
was that she didn't get up in arms about it because she.
Maybe she did and they cut that shit out.
Oh, because
That
she's
would've been
normally
cute.
so sensitive about
Yes,
stuff like that,
yeah.
and she's normally the first person to jump on that train that's
What-
like,
what
"You
was-
shut the fuck up,"
Yeah,
and they don't.
What was that comment Austin made? You're just
Black
a
soul. You have a black soul. She
a dark,
jumps.
a dark soul.
Yeah.
Which is even worse.
That's right. He said Nyasha doesn't want to go against the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
then-
girls.
but
Because she
that's
don't
what
want
I
to be
found funny.
ostracized. Oh, big word. And from the group. And
Oh, brother.
can I spell it? No.
Well,
What do
I
you
think
guys
it's
think of
'cause-
this music video?
I wanna watch it. I
Over
wanna
the
see the
years,
actual music.
having watched Drag Race and having seen Mike Reese's produced music videos, they're never really that good.
Right.
That's
His
why I wanna see it.
photographs
By the-
are amazing.
And I-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the music videos just never translate. They look cheap and there's like no concept.
Right.
Tyra Banks' first
Well,
video.
Exactly.
Well,
When I
her
saw-
first video was
Shake,
produced really well.
while we're on the subject of Mike Ruiz, I have a bone to pick with him.
Can she speak?
No. Not until I pick my bone with Mike. I sent you a Facebook
Oh,
Friend?
brother. Go ahead, Jackie.
and friend request, and you have not accepted me. What's up with that?
So, Mike Ruiz,
on.
if you're one of our 50 viewers,
Which
Please
you know
add
he
me.
is.
Add me as your friend, or I will cut you. Go ahead, Jackie.
maybe
Martin,
maybe
you're
it's
just as good.
because
Okay,
you're talking shit about him on here.
aside from that personal vendetta and back to the topic at hand, I loved it when Rodney was singing. Okay, everybody who's singing along on the music video was like off by like 10 beats.
No one knew the
Except for
words.
No one
this-
knew the words.
Except for the drag queen.
No, except for
Except-
Rodney.
Well, he
Rodney was
doesn't
on
speak.
point.
Except for
doesn't
Rodney,
even-
who I
Was
was
he
watching,
really?
and I was like, Rodney knows English. Oh my God! Oh no, that's not Rodney.
Miss Rainblow. That's the name of the drag queen.
Oh, really?
I loved that gum as a kid.
She knew what
Was
she
it
was
gum?
doing,
It
but like
was-
It
Mike,
came in like a 10-pack and
Mike
Oh, yeah.
and the
flavor.
guy who
The
sang the
balls.
song were like 10 beats off.
Well,
Right,
I
yep.
think I think I think his video directing expertise dates back to the 90s, and I think he's stuck in the 90s because that's where the video looks like, and
Yeah.
he hasn't evolved into the Gaga era. So I don't think he's capable of being bringing something new and fresh.
Edgy.
But she's an
edgy.
amazing photographer.
Yeah, he is an amazing photographer.
You'd think it would translate.
Yeah, you would think, but most people who
Good tops don't make good bottoms.
that's your experience, okay?
Well, what's the guy that Rihanna stole his idea for the S&M video? The photographer, David Lafayette.
David LaChapelle.
LaChapelle. He's a great video director.
He's an
and a
amazing
great
video
photographer.
director. He directed Dirty. Christina Aguilera's
Well, some
Dirty.
people have visions, and pictures are one thing, and moving pictures are another.
They
Well,
really
David
are,
LaChapelle
though.
is also an amazing photographer at the same time.
Like I said, some
He's
people
Bob.
He is,
have,
but it just doesn't always translate.
Right.
I don't think it does.
yeah. So, would anybody like to add anything else? I think we've covered everything.
No.
Nothing. Oh, do you think it was cute that they were shouting each other's name? I love Austin.
No, I hated that.
Okay.
With every fiber of my being.
Hated it.
Hated
And then we come to Little Women. Hated it.
It didn't seem sincere to me.
Well, we already,
You know, I mean,
they-
it's just like the whole relationship in
I was a little-
itself is just, you know,
Yeah.
it's so masturbatory to me.
Oh,
Well,
real
it's
quick.
sad because we know where it's gonna end.
Exactly.
Well, us jaded queens know where it's gonna end up.
What do you guys think of their abusive relationship?
I don't
There's-
entirely buy that it's abusive.
I don't
Really?
know if it's abusive, but if they think it's abusive, they're so, as friends, flippant about the whole situation. They're just like, oh yeah, he beats him. Maybe he likes it, maybe he doesn't. But if like you're that concerned about Austin getting beat, why don't you take him aside and be like, hey, I'm concerned
That's why I don't buy it.
in your
because it's like,
relationship. I don't believe that you ran into a cupboard. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
I totally think it's a total plant because of that though, because of their reaction was just so, oh, whatever. It's like if you really thought somebody was beating on their partner and, you know, I don't think you'd be so like,
you-
oh, whatever.
Well,
Do you think it's different because it's two guys? Like if it were a guy and a girl?
No.
No.
I like
I-
roughhousing.
Oh, jeez.
Well, yeah.
A month ago we
Roughhousing
were
is
wrestling.
different,
we
but
were wrestling and I split my lip.
That's there. Well, it's a
but then
difference.
own up to it. Don't be like I ran into a cupboard.
Cover. Yeah, exactly. If you were having rough
No, I mean
sex,
he
then,
split my lip.
But
I
that's what I'm
wasn't pissed.
saying.
I still won the wrestling match.
If I
Right.
saw you the next day and I said, Cam, did you know so and so beat you? He's like, no, we were having a wrestling match right before
it
having
also
sex.
it's also a matter of knowing the person. You know that I don't take shit lying down.
Well,
By
wait.
And the
all
other
means
thing is
necessary.
Austin is a pity party for one.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah,
anything
well-
he can do to pull up pity party for one.
Right.
Right.
He might have even that might have like been even not related,
Now,
but
if
he
it was
knew if he made that insinuation.
Derek, who was in a relationship and showed up with a busted lip,
Yeah.
then it'd be easier. Of course, I mean, whether it's right or wrong, it would be easier to believe. Oh, maybe he got beat up. by his
Well, I think everybody like you know.
Bitch got beat.
I think everybody
husband.
likes a hand around the throat every now and again while they're
Hell yeah.
having sex.
No
so.
thank
Well, not only that, but
Who said no thank you?
what's his
Me.
name?
Oh, please.
Austin,
It choked me out until I'm
Rodney, and Jake are about the same size.
Who? Huh?
Rodney and Jake are about the same size.
Yeah.
What, about 5 inches? Oh, we're talking.
No.
Sorry. What we're talking about?
So in that sense, Austin feels he could take Rodney
Right.
every time. Always wants to fight. You know, oh, I'm thicker. I can handle him. He couldn't handle Jake.
Thicker.
I don't.
Yeah, Jake is smaller than Austin.
Yeah.
Interesting.
BJ
Unless he
Penn
caught
is
him
what,
off guard.
5'4".
Who? Oh, okay, so let's do our news and gossip. I think we've.
Oh, maybe
just-
we didn't even talk about Derek and Austin
Who cares?
making up.
Oh.
Oh, like okay.
The
Before we
slap
do the
across
news
the
and
face.
okay, so who cares about that? I have. This is
Jesse,
3
did you need to
episodes.
go to commercial?
All
No.
I did was
No
write
commercial
every
today.
other line
No
says,
commercials today. We've
"Why
talked
is
through
Derek manic? Derek's so manic. Derek is manic. He's so manic. He's like, I love you. I hate you. Slap me. I slap you. Like, shut the fuck up. He can't make up his mind.
Okay, so
can't. You
Jackie,
can't. I agree.
this is a first. Jackie, the F bomb has been dropped so many times, and I didn't want to say anything.
Jackie,
but
we only have 2 more episodes. Why did you wait till the end of the season?
I was just gonna say this.
I haven't gotten any sleep and I'm angry.
I think he's so disgruntled because his hair is just totally like jacked up. How about that?
Who, Derek?
Yes.
Oh.
No, I think he.
Every time he
He
does this, I
likes
just
that
want to
hair.
throw my shoe at the
how
TV.
Old, how old is Derek?
Derek is about 26, 7.
So he's in the same age group, and I think there might be a genuine sense of, you know, maybe I was a little irrational, maybe I was a little
But Jackie brings up
self-righteous.
No, but he brings up a good point. Oh, I love you. I hate you. I want to hit you. Blah blah blah. It's so like really make up your
Yeah, in the
effing mind.
last episode when Austin did the exact same thing that he's doing in this episode.
He did it twice in this episode.
Yeah, he didn't want anything to do with him when Austin approached him in the
Exactly.
last episode. He wanted nothing to do with him. And suddenly this episode
Same
he's
setting.
like, "Oh, it's so nice that he's approaching me and I want to be friends." Bitch, he approached you in the last episode and now you're saying that. And then even during the conversation, yeah, it was so manic. It was like, "I want to slap you. but I want to hug you. Let's be friends, but let's not talk about this. Blah blah blah. It's like, oh.
I'm actually mad at Logo for previewing it as if he was actually getting attacked. Because in the preview they had him getting slapped, and I was like, "Ooh, I can't wait to watch! I can't wait to watch!" And then watch him like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously? Was it all a joke?" And I hate when they do that.
Sucker.
Okay, I'm exhausted. Let's go on. Our time is running short. Glee is starting in about 10 minutes.
Ramble to the whole show.
Let us throw it to DJ Jesse and do our news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, so the series premiere of A-List Dallas is set for Monday, October 10th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on Logo.
And our very own Jacque Borowski will be spearheading.
Who else is doing it, Jackie?
I'm doing it. You're doing
Kenny
it.
and Cameron.
Just making sure you
And you can do
include it
it too.
yourself.
What day of the week
Oh.
is it?
It's the same. Well, we don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, we
We'll
haven't had a
see.
schedule.
TBA.
See if I'm busy.
So check us out. Jackie's gonna be our fearless leader on this.
What are you guys' thoughts as far as the previews?
It looks awful.
It looks like
Looks
Republican
Republican, yay.
versus gay. It's gonna be a hot mess.
Is one of the characters gay, but he's Republican? Is that what I'm getting from like the blonde guy?
Many gay Republicans.
They should all
Which is a hot mess. to
die
me.
and burn
I
in
just-
hell. That's just my opinion, by the way.
Is that with the bisexuals?
Wow.
Them too. Don't ride the fence.
Judging from recent interviews and tweets, it is clear that Cher has nothing but love and support for her transgendered son, Chaz Bono. But that doesn't necessarily mean the iconic entertainer, who's 65, always believes. Why does that matter? Always believes Bono is capable of everything
Called copy and paste.
he sets out to do. Following an upbeat performance on Monday's night's Dancing with the Star that surprised judges, Bono, 42.
Bono.
Bono.
They're two
Whatever.
different people.
You're right, but here we
Boner.
are. Boner, who's 42,
Who has a boner?
admitted to People he was interested to hear what Cher thought because she thought I was not going to be able to do this.
I thought it was great. I watched it. I like the fact that they waited to the very end. It was kind of like the Bono show. Like I thought it was great. I thought
That's nice.
Well, it's big.
How did he
because
dance?
He danced pretty
He's a good
well.
dancer.
Yeah.
Good
I
for
mean,
him.
considering
see it.
he's a bigger gentleman,
Did he shake his bonbon?
he did. And I liked how they had when he
Did it bang?
in practice he had on a tank top and it was there's nothing there. I'm fascinated.
Because it's removed.
I know, but it's just fascinating.
They
He
have
bangs,
pictures
he
of
bangs.
Chaz Bono shirtless online.
That's great.
So
No,
the
thank
All-Star rating.
If you want them.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's great. Go ahead.
The All-Star reading of 8 at the Eugene O'Neill Theater on Monday evening in New York possessed far more glamour than the litigation it portrayed. A 2010 trial over California's gay marriage ban at the federal courthouse in San Francisco's seedy Tenderloin neighborhood. Actors and actresses including John Lithgow, Morgan Freeman, Christine Lottie, and Ellen Barkin turned up to perform a play based on the court transcript in the monumental civil rights trial.
Wow.
It's gonna be a big hit. It's by Dustin Lance Black, who wrote Milk, who won an Oscar for Milk. So it's gonna be huge. I think it's gonna be great. I hope it comes. I hope it's nationwide. I think it's gonna hopefully open the eyes of America, basically, on this issue that we had to deal with in California. So great thing.
Love DLB.
All right, and that's your news and gossip for September 20th, 2011.
Hey, and now we're going to hear that weird music.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
It's like Halloween every time I hear that, you know? And Halloween is slowly approaching. Okay, so next week, who's got something? Who wants to go first? Jump in.
I don't even remember what the promo was.
I know. All I remember from the promo was
Did I
seeing
miss
Rodney's
something?
dick all the time.
What?
What? That's
Oh.
true.
Yeah.
They were
It was dick
rehearsing.
shot, dick shot, dick shot. And then my
Oh,
brain
right.
was blown. So
Jackie.
In
And I was going to
leggings,
ask you, what are
that's
you
right.
drinking over there? But you have nothing in front of you. Sickening. I love it. At the end of the promo, there's Nyasha and Austin have another sit down. So,
Right. And it looks like Derek and Austin are talking
Yeah.
regularly again.
yeah.
Meh.
Told you.
Does
We'll
anyone
see.
care?
No.
Okay. Well, that was a great show, guys.
It was.
I had fun.
Sidebar. Oh, if you guys get a chance, I went and saw there's a documentary called "We Were Here" about the
Heard about it.
HIV epidemic from
about it.
from the beginning, discovery of it till modern day. And I think they take 5 people and they cut you different splices, and talk about the epidemic through the years.
That's
and how
awesome.
Is this in
it's-
theaters now? Or?
Well, it's special screenings. They had like a ArcLight Hollywood had it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No dry eyes in the house.
Oh God.
On that
That's
note,
great.
I
I know.
saw Contagion.
Yes, so did I.
And
That I
Somebody
will not
sneezed
see.
and coughed, and I was like, "Ooh."
I went with my cousin and she was coughing the whole movie. And I was like, you need to move over. and
Yeah,
see."
I thought I was the only one because there were people hacking, and I was like, really? I want to get up and leave. Okay, that was weird. So thank you for joining us. We had another great episode. We'll see you next Tuesday.
He didn't like it, now he loves it.
Goodbye, everyone. Ciao.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janedy, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.